4,500 years ago, a civilization in the desert built things that simply should not have been possible. No machines, no electricity, no modern tools of any kind. And yet what they left behind still humbles the engineers and scientists who study it today. Here are 11 ancient Egyptian mysteries that science still cannot explain. Stay until the end, because number 1 rewrites what we thought was possible. Number 11. A written language that the world completely forgot how to read. For more than 3,000 years, the Egyptians wrote in a script of over 700 symbols. Birds, eyes, water, and gods, all carved into stone with breathtaking detail. It covered their temples, their tombs, and their monuments from top to bottom. Then their civilization faded, and something strange happened. The entire language went silent. For nearly 1,500 years, not a single living person could read it. Scholars stared at these symbols for centuries and saw only beautiful, silent pictures. A whole civilization was speaking to us, and no one understood a single word. It took the chance discovery of one broken slab of stone to crack it. The Rosetta Stone carried the same message written in 3 different scripts. By comparing them, scholars finally unlocked a voice silent for 1,000 years. But huge questions remain. We still argue over how the language actually sounded. And countless inscriptions still wait, unread, in tombs we have not even opened. And the writing was only the beginning of how advanced they really were. Number 10. Medicine that was thousands of years ahead of its time. Ancient Egyptian doctors could set broken bones and stitch deep wounds. They could treat infections and even understood the value of keeping a wound clean. They wrote detailed medical texts describing the body, the heart, and the pulse. One surviving scroll lists dozens of injuries, each with a careful diagnosis. And each one comes with a recommended treatment, written like a modern manual. They practiced dentistry, drilling into teeth thousands of years ago. Archaeologists even found a false toe, made of wood and leather, fitted to a mummy. And it shows clear signs of wear, meaning it was not decoration. It was actually used to help someone walk. That is a working prosthetic 3,000 years before modern medicine. They understood the human body with a skill that should not have been possible yet. Much of their deepest medical knowledge was written on scrolls now lost forever. We only know fragments of what they truly understood. But their most dazzling secrets were not knowledge. They were solid gold. Number 9. A tomb that survived completely untouched for over 3,000 years. In 1922, an explorer broke through a sealed doorway. Behind it lay the almost perfectly preserved tomb of a boy king, Tutankhamun. Almost every other royal tomb had been emptied by robbers thousands of years earlier. But this one had been forgotten, sealed, and left alone. Inside were thousands of objects, glittering in the torchlight. Chariots, thrones, statues, jewelry, and weapons. At its heart lay a death mask of solid gold. It weighs over 10 kilograms and fits the face with perfect detail. The craftsmanship is so fine that modern jewelers struggle to match it. And here is the truly haunting part. Tutankhamun was a minor king who died very young. This was a small tomb for a largely forgotten ruler. Now imagine what the tombs of the greatest pharaohs must once have held. Treasures and knowledge we will never see because they vanished long ago. Number 8. A monument that may be far older than the history books say. The Great Sphinx was carved from a single ridge of solid limestone. It is one of the largest statues ever made from a single piece of stone. But there is something strange about its weathered body. It is covered in deep, rounded, vertical channels. To some geologists, that is the unmistakable signature of heavy rainfall. Water falling over very long periods, slowly carving the stone away. The problem is simple. This part of Egypt has been a desert for thousands of years. For that rain erosion to form, the Sphinx might have to be far older, possibly carved when the Sahara was green and wet. If that is true, someone was building monuments here long before the first pyramid. Mainstream Egyptologists strongly reject this, and the argument is fierce. Some also note the head looks too small for the body, as if a far older monument was recarved by later kings. And the monuments the Sphinx guards are even harder to explain. Number 7. An alignment so perfect it rivals modern technology. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north with almost unbelievable accuracy. And true north is not the same as the north on a compass. It is the direction of the Earth's actual axis, and it is far harder to find. The pyramid's error is just a tiny fraction of a single degree. To match that today, surveyors rely on satellites, lasers, and computers. The Egyptians had no compass, no GPS, no modern instruments of any kind. Yet all four sides line up almost perfectly with the points of the compass. The base is also nearly perfectly level across its entire footprint. And that footprint covers more than 13 acres of desert. Across that whole area, the difference in height is just a couple of centimeters. A modern construction crew would be proud to achieve that with laser guidance. Some think they used the stars to find north. Others, the shadow of the sun. But no surviving record actually tells us how they did it. We are left to reverse engineer a method that was never written down. And finding north is one thing. Moving what comes next is something else entirely. Number 6. Stones so heavy we would struggle to move them even today. The Great Pyramid was built from more than 2 million blocks of stone. Most of them weigh several tons each. Some of the inner blocks weigh as much as 80 tons. That is heavier than a modern battle tank. And these were not just dragged across flat ground. Many were lifted hundreds of feet into the air and placed with stunning accuracy. In a quarry at Aswan lies an unfinished obelisk, abandoned mid-carving. Had it been completed, it would have weighed over 1,000 tons. That is heavier than a fully loaded jumbo jet, carved from a single piece of granite. Even with cranes and trucks, moving a 1,000-ton object is a serious challenge now. The Egyptians did it with ropes, sleds, ramps, and human muscle. Recent finds suggest they poured water on the sand to make the sledges glide. It is clever, but it still does not fully explain the very largest stones. How they raised the heaviest blocks so high remains genuinely disputed. But the stones outside are only part of the story. The pyramid was hiding something within. Number 5. A secret chamber, hidden inside the Great Pyramid for thousands of years. For centuries, we believed we had fully mapped the inside of the Great Pyramid. A few narrow passages, and a handful of known chambers. Then scientists tried something extraordinary. They used particles raining down from outer space to skin straight through solid stone. These cosmic particles pass through rock, but behave differently in empty space. By tracking them, researchers could sense hidden gaps inside the pyramid. And in 2017, they found something no one expected. A huge, sealed void, hidden high above the known chambers. It is at least 30 meters long, as big as a passenger jet, and it has no known entrance and no obvious purpose. We do not know if it is a chamber, a hidden space, or something else entirely. We have detected it, but we still cannot get inside it. A massive secret, sealed in stone, just out of reach. And the precision of that stone is a mystery all on its own. Number 4. Granite cut as if by machines that should not have existed. Beneath the sand, near Saqqara lie enormous boxes carved from solid granite. Each one was cut from a single, massive block. Some weigh as much as 100 tons, with their lids alone weighing dozens more. Their inner surfaces are flat, square, and astonishingly smooth. The corners are sharp, and the walls are parallel to within a fraction of a millimeter. That is a tolerance you would expect from a modern machine shop. Granite is one of the hardest stones on Earth. Cutting it this precisely is difficult even with diamond power tools today. Yet this was supposedly done with copper chisels and stone hammers. Copper is far too soft to cut granite like this. The numbers do not add up. Some surfaces even show what look like the marks of saws and drills. Tools we are not supposed to find for thousands of years. How they shaped these boxes so perfectly remains one of Egypt's most uncomfortable puzzles. And it was not only stone they mastered. It was chemistry we would lose for millennia. Number 3. Colors and chemistry so advanced that we simply forgot how to make them. The Egyptians created the world's first known synthetic pigment. A brilliant blue, made by heating sand, copper, and lime with great care. It still shines on temple walls after thousands of years. And that same pigment glows under infrared light. A hidden property that scientists only rediscovered in the modern era. Today, researchers want to use it in medical imaging and security inks. The Egyptians were, in a sense, doing advanced chemistry entirely by hand. They also preserved human bodies with breathtaking skill. Using salts and resins, they stopped decay almost completely. Thousands of years later, we can still recover DNA from their mummies. We can study their diseases, their diets, even their family trees. The exact recipes for some pigments and embalming were lost for millennia. We are only now piecing them back together in modern labs. But the most haunting mystery of all is not on the ground. It is in the sky. Number 2. Monuments aligned not just to the earth, but to the heavens. Inside the Great Pyramid run narrow shafts, angled up through solid stone. They are too small for a person, and they lead nowhere obvious. Yet each one points at a specific, sacred star. They aim at the stars the Egyptians tied to their gods and their kings. And there is a larger pattern many people cannot ignore. The 3 pyramids of Giza appear to mirror the 3 stars of Orion's belt. Even their slight offset seems to match the offset of those stars. To some, the whole plateau is a map of the heavens, drawn on the ground. Tracking stars this accurately takes patient observation across many lifetimes. It also requires mathematics far more advanced than we usually credit them with. They even tracked a slow wobble in the sky that takes thousands of years to complete. Why tie their greatest monuments so precisely to the stars? Was it religion, a calendar, or knowledge we have not yet recovered? Put every clue together, and one impossible question remains. Number 1. The greatest mystery of all. How did they do every bit of this at once? A written language of hundreds of symbols. Medicine ahead of its time. 1,000-ton stones, moved and raised across the desert. Granite cut as smooth and square as machined metal. Chemistry and colors we then lost for thousands of years. And monuments mirroring the very stars overhead. All of it achieved 4,500 years ago, without a single one of the tools we assume are required. And then, somehow, much of that knowledge simply vanished from the world. The language went silent. The methods were forgotten. The recipes were lost. Either they were far more advanced than we have ever been willing to admit, or we are still missing an enormous piece of the human story. Every one of these mysteries was made by human hands. Long before the history we were taught says it was even possible. So which one do you think we will never explain? Tell me in the comments below. I genuinely read every single one. And if you want more forgotten history that science still can't explain, subscribe. Because the past is far stranger than we were ever told.